Alright, I've been given the okay that I am live once more. So, here is the last run of the 4 I'm doing tonight. So, this game here was actually recently accepted for the upcoming AGDQ in January of 2019. And I am going to be running it. So, I've been working pretty hard and developing a couple new strats, actually, that I am hopefully going to show off correctly in this run. I've actually also formulated some new guides so that newcomers are not coming into the game in the dark, or completely in the dark of not knowing what the current meta is, what the speedrun is all about. This is a nice little gem here. It's by Natsum, and it's a well-praised co-op experience, and I highly recommend it for anybody else who may have not tried this game before. But this will not be a co-op run. This is going to be a single-player run, and the character we are actually going to select here is the Tanuki, which is Rocky, and I'll explain why. I'll explain why over the course of the run. I'm actually going to record this run just in case a world record might happen here. There is still a chance it could happen. So, I'm just going to go to the title screen here to prove the difficulty. Really, the only difference, I think, is just more damage done by the enemies. Alright, so with that, we're going to get started here. Time starts when we select the character. 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, you may not have noticed, that was a bit of speed tech I just did. So it turns out, what frame you press start on the cutscene is what manipulates which of the 7 stages spawns in the corresponding level that follows. And this manipulation carries over for the first 5 levels. And hopefully we got the right frame that we hit start on. Well, we're going to find out in a moment here. Did not get the right frame. That's fine. We're just going to upgrade our fire so that we know that we're not going to be downgraded to level 1 fire. Weapons in this game have 3 levels. There's 2 types of weapons, the spreader and the fire. Each of them have 3 levels to them. When there is no level of any of the 2 elements, you're just stuck with the basic weapon, which for Rocky is just a single leaf. So here's the first boss. Gonna tap a direction with a certain type of movement, or a certain type of rhythm, and that stacks our conventional weapon for more firepower. And you also saw Rocky's bomb get used there, and that is also why we select Rocky in the speedrun. Because his bombs have the capability to actually completely destroy boss fights. And that is also why we want to properly manipulate the sages. Because out of the 7 sages, only 3 of them drop a bomb. And that's unfortunate, because that means a higher chance that you're going to get a sage that doesn't drop a bomb, and the more bombs you get in the run, the faster the end time's going to just be. That's just the way it is. That's just how strong Rocky's bombs actually are. So I'm just gonna rush through here. Upgraded my fire just to make sure that I am not downgraded before the mini-boss here coming up. Got a shield here, which is great. And quickly killed off that Tengu. And now we're gonna face the Bamboo. I don't know what I don't know what his actual name is. I just call him the Bamboo mini-boss. So, once again, Rocky's bombs are OP, and if I get better luck throughout the run, that is kind of the strat you're going to expect in the run. So this section here is really awful. It's very laggy, so we have to dodge right through it as soon as possible, which is why we wanted that shield. Because we didn't want to deal with the lag. Nice hit. Thankfully, because we actually got the shield there, we were able to afford taking that hit. Because if you didn't get the shield in that box, but instead a health drop, you would actually be forced to take 2 hits. Where we actually took 2 hits and lost our shield at. And that means a single hit would downgrade your fire weapon. And that is not a good situation for this section here, which I'm sure is probably going to be chat's favorite section of the run. So, these Kappas here, you got a couple of them shooting their hats, a couple of them trying to, you know, drag me into the water and you know, make me go for a little bit of a swim, and we're not good swimmers. We're not very good swimmers. So, we want to not, we don't want to actually go for a swim. If we do go for a swim, we actually lose 2 hearts. So at some point, hopefully we will go for a swim. If we do go for a swim, though, we also are guaranteed to be downgraded 1 level of our weapon as well. So this guy here, we want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible, and that's also why we want the highest level fire weapon, because it deals with him really, really quickly. So now that he's gone, we're now in a very good situation. We have our shield, we have at least 2 hits left before we are downgraded from our fire, which, when combined with the shield, means we have 4 hits. So, yeah, we're in a good position, and we want double fire. We want our highest level fire here, because we, you might not have noticed, but those Cyclops guys, those Cyclops enemies I had to fight over the course of that level, you can actually do double damage to them. And this boss here is the same thing. You can actually do double damage to them if you position yourself in a certain manner. So, this fight is mostly about managing the lag. This can be a bit of a laggy fight. And it can be pretty hard to control it at times. But with the highest upgrade fire, it's a lot easier. So, I mentioned how in boss fights, Brocky's bombs are very strong. This is the one fight where it's actually not. And that's because no matter what type of damage source this guy takes, he's always programmed, his AI is always programmed to submerge back into the water once he takes a certain set of damage. So, you know, basically, you don't want to waste your bombs here. It's just, there are better places to utilize them. I should also make mention now, since this is the perfect time to say this, in the Japanese version, the bomb limit is actually lower than the English version. We can only carry 3 as our maximum limit. In the English version, it's actually 4. So it's actually faster to run the English version. And so you're probably thinking, why do I run on the Japanese version in this case? And that's because I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the timing for sage manipulation is different. And at least as it stands currently. And because of that, I'm just more comfortable doing sage manipulation with the Japanese version, because that's the one I'm more familiar with currently. So hopefully we hit start at the right frame of the cutscene. So here's our sage over here. Did not get the one we wanted, so this is fine because, well, we can kind of resort to backup strats a little bit in this level, and this is actually somewhat preferred here, because this guy, he's a bit of a troll. He can sometimes instantly teleport, and that nullifies bomb damage, and because of that, it's actually a risk to use the bomb on him. So instead, I'm going to just manipulate his pattern like that and get a nice and easy fight. So, how that fight actually works, he's always set to start with, I believe, either one of the metal blade, the double metal blade attacks, or the ice breath. And which attack he chooses of the two depends on your position in accordance to his. And after that, he will cycle to the fire attack, which is always pretty easy to bait out, always pretty easy to dodge. Nice positioning there. Good kill on that Joker. That guy can be a big troll. And yeah, the guy there actually will cycle. That mini-boss I was facing beforehand, we're going to face him again. And his attacks is Metal Blade or Ice Breath, depending on your positioning. And then his next attack is the Fire Breath attack, and then it's the same, it's Lather, Rinse, Repeat after that. And yeah, that Genie fight that I faced a little bit earlier there, he has a lot of health, so we ought to actually use a bomb on him there. Doesn't really matter, though, because this area has a set standard bomb drop. All the levels here, pretty much all the way to stage 5, has a standard bomb drop that's always there, on top of the potential sage that could drop a bomb. I should also mention that while stage 5 doesn't have a set standard bomb drop, stage 6 does, so that's important to know. Right, so I'm actually going to go for the quick kill strat here. Let's see if we get it. Oh, okay, I wasn't close enough to him. That's fine, though. I knew that was still going to kill him. Yeah, so you have to still be positioned pretty close to him, but that's the idea of how you're supposed to kill him. Alright, so hopefully I got the frame there. There's actually a visual cue to Sage Manipulate on this one, and I think I got it here. We'll see, though. It's never a guarantee. It is a frame-perfect thing. It's a frame-perfect trick for a reason. And we got it. Nice. So, in case you're wondering, these sages here are... They are designed after the 7 lucky gods from Japanese folklore. And the one you saw there, I believe, is Hotai. And I forget which what type of god he is. I think he's the god of wealth. Wow, nice. That's actually fine. And the reason for that is because... that death actually didn't cost me anything because this entire area is actually scripted. It will cost me a little bit at the end when the results screen actually plays out. Going to take just a little bit of damage. In fact, I'm just going to do that right now. And I can actually afford to do that because the next part here actually has another manner to upgrade the spreader. So yeah, you might have noticed I now switched to the spreader weapon. This is a less laggy weapon in general. So at this point, it serves their purpose really well to actually abandon the fire and go straight for spreader. So yeah, this auto-scroller is pretty long. Not really much to actually kind of talk about. I do have to angle my position a little bit so I can actually get hits to register on these walls, and I want to deal with them now so that I don't have to worry about it. Oh, I'm actually going to take a little bit of damage here. There we go, and then refresh that. Yeah, so I want to kind of drain my health a little bit. since my bomb count is actually going to be completely maxed out by the end of this auto-scroller. And that's great, because that means we get to do the quick kill on the boss fight that's going to be coming up at the end of this stage. So these guys actually have a pattern here where after the chain link attack, they're always going to counter with that bomb. So you just got to kind of bait it out and just just know when to pick your fight with him and just bait out his attacks. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. After... Wow. Actually, I'm going to get some water here. Sorry. My throat got a little bit itchy there. I didn't want to start having coughing fits, so I had to get some water. But yeah, we're pretty much at the end here. After this is stage 5, which is a very, very dangerous level, and there's going to be a lot of death abuse in that level, and considering I already took a death during this particular stage, that's kind of scary. There is a chance I could die twice on this upcoming level. We'll keep our fingers crossed, though. Hopefully we don't take a death. Any more than one death in that level. So, yeah, there goes the harpy. How I generally like to, I usually rely on sound cues when I go for these quick kills. And that's how I'm able to land these kills pretty precisely, or pretty quickly. I just know at what point the music is gonna stop. And that's going to be very key for the next fight coming up as well. This is also why we want to carry 2 bombs for at least this level, because the boss at the end of this level he's ridiculous. Like, I think he is undeniably the hardest fight in the game. Just a lot of chaos in that fight. Very hard to actually avoid much of the damage he can dish out, especially in Phase 1. So, this is looking pretty good. I actually got past the barrel chucker. That is ideal. Any later than that is a bonus. So, this pretty much means we're not going to take any more than a single death, because we'll have more than enough health to actually get through the rest of this. Uh-oh. Well, I said that, but I almost bit the dust right there. Wow. Alright. Just shows that you can't get too ahead of yourself in this game. So, this screen here is arguably worse than the last one, and there's a spike ball section coming up here where, depending on where we're at in the global cycle, we can get some pretty bad patterns. And, but hopefully not. This is looking pretty good here right now. Alright, very nice. Actually have avoided... Okay, well, 1 is fine. Yeah, 1 is perfectly fine. We take those. And we did not get a bomb here. And this could be a bit of a problem. We do have a shield here. Of course, now we lost it because, yeah, this guy can be a little bit of a troll. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Actually, this might be okay. We might have enough health to deal with this. Alright, we should make it. Good, good. Just barely, but we made it. This boss could kill me if he teleports on top of me, but that's fine. The most important thing is we get past this level. So here's where we're going to utilize our remaining 2 bombs. And Oh. Alright, so... Unfortunately, I don't know why my bomb did not activate there. This could be... Oof. I thought I pressed the bomb button, but I didn't there. And my first bomb did not actually do much damage to him. It did knock him out of phase 1 there. You can see how quickly that screen kind of can go out of control. You know, the tiles will activate and like little miniature light bats will show up. And it's hard to control that fight, especially in phase 1. Phase 2 can also be a little problematic. Now, this stage is also kind of scary, but mostly due to 2 particular enemies, and that is the spiders and these dogs. They do 2 damage if I contact damage them, or if I contact them. So, obviously I want to avoid that. And here's the mini-boss, which has a nice little safe spot up here, which we're going to abuse. So just by tapping up and having no higher a spreader weapon than level 2, we're actually able to just constantly keep this chain of damage going and just force a really quick fight on this guy. And with that, now we move on to the last fight of the game. This is Black Mantle. And he is the one largely responsible for pretty much all the goblins, yokai, however you want to call them. They're kind of all going crazy in the region, and he is the one largely responsible for that. And that includes the enemies we fought in Stage 5, the previous stage. He's controlling all of them. So, first things first, we need to get rid of these statues here. And this is very important because they not only create a shield for Black Mantle, but they also shoot projectiles. And now I'm about to do something that I don't think many people have seen, but we're going to utilize this statue for some extra little bit of damage, then keeping us safe there. Of course, I took a hit there, but that's fine. Been downgraded to level 1 spreader here, so my damage output's going to be even lower now. But that's fine, we got a nice little spot here. We're just going to utilize that statue for everything it's worth, since, well, not only does it cut down the lag to actually do that, but it does all that damage I'm doing with the statue is literally just physical damage that you would normally do with a tail whip. And that is the end of the run. Time is when you get the final hit on Black Mantle. So yeah, that strat there was the strat I wanted to show off, and we pulled it off successfully. Unfortunately, did not have the bombs to utilize a really fast kill on that fight, but that's kind of what happens when you run Pocky and Rocky. You have to assume that you're not going to land the frame rules on these stage spawns, and sometimes you're just not going to be so lucky. Really good run, really a great game that I cannot recommend enough for everybody to try out. It's often overlooked, much like a number of other Natsun classics, including Wild Arms, which sadly is not going to be played at Super SNES Stars. I have contemplated reaching out to one of the runners, and he didn't get back to me, so don't say I didn't try. But yeah, that was Pocky and Rocky, and I hope you all enjoyed that run, as well as the other runs of Super Turrican, Assault Suits Vulcan, and the Lawnmower Man. I am d4gr0n, and that's pretty much going to be it for me. I may have another run that I might submit, maybe even 2. We'll see what space is still available for the remainder of the marathon. I will have to talk to Fiesel on that. If there is room, we may get to have some ActRaiser 1. and any percent. The one with the one with the town building, the category a lot of people like, and the other game I was thinking was probably Psychon Densetsu 3. I can't make promises though. I can't make that promise. But that's what I may try to fill in those slots with. We'll see how I'm feeling. I've already done 7 runs, so it may be a little too much for me now at this point, but we'll see how I'm feeling after I've had some much-needed rest after these set of runs. So, with that, I'm going to sign off and let the host take over from here. To everyone who stuck around and watched, thank you. And enjoy the rest of the marathon. Enjoy the rest of SNES Superstars.